I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Good afternoon, this is Dr. Bones Live, and since it's Saturday, it's time for another episode of...
And now it's time for another episode of Vlogger's Corner with Britt.
Welcome, Britt, back to the show. How are you, Britt?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Very well, thank you. Now, as I was telling you before we got on air, I was just looking at the tally up here, and since I didn't realize it last week was your 25th episode of Vlogger's Corner, and this week obviously being 26. So we'll say like a big congratulations to you because it's been doing so well and a lot of people enjoyed it. So here's to many, many more.
Agreed. Yay! Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity. I would never, have 26 episodes if it wasn't for you. So thank you.
Oh, not a problem. I should have queued up the applause, but maybe we'll do that at the end of the show.
Awesome.
So, first off, since we were talking about this, that we were both kind of on the assumption that Arrow was off for one more week, but it wasn't. Now, you guys should see the episode, but I didn't because I thought it wasn't back until next week. So, pretty much what we've agreed on is we'll wait till next week to talk about Arrow, and then we'll get back into it because right after that, they're pretty much going to be on hiatus for another few weeks again. So, we'll catch up in that week and kind of tie in that episode just before they take the break or after they take a break, I think it is.
Yes.
But moving on from that, there's been a lot of rock news this week, and we'll call it popular mainstream. And it seems like more and more people more and more bands are enjoying putting up cryptic messages. Now, the one that caught my eye, there's a few, but the most recent one was just the other day. The band, the Black Keys, pretty much, and check this out, they put a cryptic message through a Mike Tyson tweet, out of all people. So the Black Keys, they had revealed the title and a date for release of their new album, which will be called Turn Blue, and it's their 8th studio album, will be out May 13th. But it was the info was shared in a cryptic and somewhat weird way through a Mike Tyson tweet, out of all people. And Mike Tyson wrote, Turn Blue, with a link to a David Lynch YouTube video of a hypnotherapist and a spinning pink record. But it later kind of hinted towards studio and release date, that sort of thing. And what it said is the person who was unknown said, "You will obey my each and every word, and I am inside you now." Whatever that's supposed to mean. It could be it could be a lyric in one of their songs. Who knows? But that was pretty much how it was left. So it was kind of interesting and funny. But like I said, out of all people, who would have figured Mike Tyson to be a Black Keys fan, right?
Yeah, that is a strange mix, but I guess strange things happen.
So that was interesting. Like I said, that caught my eye. And the other band who put up a cryptic message, maybe not as detailed, it's about roughly 30 seconds. It just kind of quick studio shots of them jamming. Weezer is hinting at a new album as well, which would be really cool because they haven't done anything for a while. And I'm a huge Weezer fan, so I'm kind of excited and tempted to see what they've come up with and see if they've changed their style at all, because they've kind of progressed a bit in style change, not completely, because Weezer's always going to be kind of the fun surf and sand kind of rock, and even though the song may be dismal, it doesn't sound that way because of the music. It actually sounds kind of happy, even though it might not be.
Yes.
So I'm very excited to see that, and I was really excited when I saw that because I read the article on the Rolling Stone. It's like, huh, really? I'm gonna check this out. And I actually did tweet the link to the video a few days ago, but I will put that up again. The other thing is Paul McCartney halted an auction of a cape and a lyric sheet because apparently Rose Martin, she was pretty much the helper for Paul and Lennon McCartney, but she's since passed away. And initially it was put up because it was supposed to be Linda McCartney was supposed to have given it to Rose, but there's no way of proving that. So Paul McCartney said unfortunately that was never the Martins' possession to sell, so that's not going to happen. And obviously there's no one to collaborate the story because unfortunately both Linda McCartney and Rose Martin passed away. So that's unfortunate, but that happened this week. Now Record Store Day was just the other day, and Joy Division did their debut EP, and they reissued it for Record Store Day, which I think was really cool. And at a record store in Hollywood, I'm blanking the name right now, but Chuck D from Public Enemy and John Densmore from The Doors met up, and apparently now Chuck D is pretty much an ambassador for Record Day because obviously he's a hip hop pioneer with Public Enemy and such. Like, I guess hard hitting kind of shocking songs at the time when Public Enemy was out. So that was cool. The other thing, this is I'm looking forward to, and the band Rush is plotting 41st anniversary tour for 2015, which I am really excited because I'm a huge Rush fan. Rush is Canadian, as most people know, and I've seen them a few times, and they always put on a good show. And I did have the chance to meet them back in '97 for their Test for Echo tour, because I got lucky enough, and never get tired of telling this story, because ironically this school was going to in the US at the time because I was in Michigan for about 6 years. A girl in my class just happened to be Geddy Lee's niece, and Geddy Lee's being the bassist and lead singer for Rush. So because of her, and it's Stephanie, and like I don't know where she is at this point. It's been years and years and years, but because of her, I got to see Rush for a 2-hour show and backstage the whole deal, and it was something else. I will never forget that. That was like one of the most best rock experiences I had, like show wise.
And were you like the guy in? Have you seen the movie I Love You, Man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, were you like them?
I was when I met Chad Smith. When I met them, I was a little bit more contained. I was excited, but I was thinking, you know what? The thing that was holding me back the most is because I didn't want to embarrass her at the same time, because she was like, no, this is like a huge thing. Like, no, it was her, myself, and about 4 of the people going to the show, right? And rather than being the new kid and embarrassing yourself, I was able to kind of keep it contained and under wraps.
Very cool.
Right, because it's one of those things, obviously, if you're the new person, you don't want to stepping on your toes, and then you don't want to be too forward too quickly, and there's like, so you're really thinking about it.
Yes, it's a very interesting experience when you get to meet an artist, someone that you respect, and for some reason I think of all these things I want to say, and then get there and I'm like, well, and I always feel the pressure. I don't know if you had other people waiting to see Rush when you met them, but I always, I was on a line, and I feel this kind of, they're not saying anything, but you're feeling this pressure to kind of move it along.
Oh, you know what? I did ask a few questions, just like pretty much for my own personal thing. Is like, well, like, did you guys grow up playing music, like not like together, but no, like, were you playing instruments from a young age and that sort of thing? Just kind of personal questions, but not too personal, to the point where they're still willing to answer them because it's not a real in-depth look. So, you got to find those questions that, that they'll be willing to answer, not ones they won't.
Very true. I met Tiff Merritt, who is a musician. She's had herself appear in a few movies and stuff. That's actually how I heard her for the first time. I got to meet her, and the question I wanted to ask was how she came up with the title for her song was Another Country, and I was wondering why she was referring to that person as a country. And then I was going to ask, and I thought, well, maybe I don't want to kill the mirage of maybe what I've imagined it to be, so I don't know. I chickened out. I didn't ask.
Well, it happens, but at least you got a chance to meet her. That's the thing. Is like hindsight's 20/20. At the same time, too, is even if you didn't get to ask them all these questions, at least you had the opportunity and the chance to meet them.
Very true, and she was so sweet and so tiny. She was so little, and she gave the best hugs, though. And typically, little people don't tend to do that. But But I felt so much love in her hug. I was like, oh my gosh. And she hugged me twice, and I thought, this is such a sweet person.
Well, that's awesome. Like I obviously I just shook their hands, but I didn't give them a hug or anything, you know. But no, they're
going for the bear hug.
But they're still pretty cool, and yeah, really good grips. Like a couple tight ones, like not the Geddy Lee, not is pretty strong, but their drummer, sorry, not the drummer, their guitarist Alex Lifeson, he had a strong grip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, pretty much like crunched my hand a little bit, so I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, that's when you tell. My dad taught me and my sister to have as firm a handshake as a man, and it can kind of surprise people sometimes, but it really lets people know that you're there.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I got a more of a kind of a funny story. Apparently, a letter that John Lennon wrote to Phil Spector, one of the middle managers, is up for auction. Now, this letter is blaming Keith Moon, who was the drummer for The Who, and singer-songwriter Harry Nilsson for apparently peeing on a recording console in the 70s. And that letter's going up for auction. But at the same time, too, is, you know what, knowing the time it was and, you know, reading about the type of person Keith Moon was, I'm not really too surprised, to be honest.
No.
Because Keith Moon, like John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, were just phenomenal drummers. But when it came to parties like that, they were just animals. Like, so, you know, they were, well, at least John Bonham was a bigger guy. Keith Moon wasn't a big guy, but he still could handle quite a bit. And there's one of the, I guess, infamous stories with him is this was probably the tail end of the 70s, most likely, I think it was. And what had happened is someone told Keith Moon, if you take half a horse tranquilizer and champagne, that's a really good high. And of course, Keith Moon being Keith Moon said, well, I'm going to take a full trank and some alcohol. We'll see how it goes. And what happened is they got up on stage, he played maybe half a song and toppled right off his seat on the floor.
Whoa.
So they took a break for a few minutes, came back in, tried again, started getting the song, same thing happened. So instead of canceling the show, The Who reached out to their crowd and asked if there was any drummers in the crowd, and I don't think they ever gave the kid's name at the time. Obviously he's a grown adult now, but got to come up on stage and play drums with The Who. Now, how cool that would have been. I mean, that's just something you'll remember forever.
Wow, that would be epic. What a moment.
So, because Keith Moon wanting to overdo things too much, this kid got the chance of a lifetime. Literally the chance of a lifetime.
Yeah, wow. He ended up doing something good by doing something a little weird.
Oh, that's right. So, just got a few other things. Kurt Cobain's childhood home could be a museum, and there was appraised at $67,000, but his mother is selling it for $500,000. So, oh, I think we lost Britt there for just a moment. So hopefully we'll get her back in a second, and then we'll continue on with that. But what we could do in the meantime is, why don't we jam a tune here? So how about we go with just in case we don't get her back, how about we go with Thomas McConnell and Penelope Definitely.
Penelope, there's not one danger sign. Oh, definitely a concoction of my mind. 'Cause Penelope, definitely, I wish I could make reality you and me. We can Penelope. Sky's the limit if you're here. Oh, definitely. Mouthing nonsense to my fears. 'Cause Penelope, definitely. I wish I could make reality. You and me, we can tilt around impossibility. Oh, Penelope, oh, definitely, oh. Penelope, there's not one danger sign. Oh, definitely. A concoction of my mind. 'Cause Penelope, definitely. I wish I could make reality. You and me, we can tilt around impossibility. Penelope, definitely. Penelope.
All right.
All right, that was Thomas McConnell with Penelope, definitely, and we got Britt back. Just a little Skype issue, no big deal. We're all set to go again. So what I was saying was that Kurt Cobain's mother is selling the house for $500,000, despite the fact it's only worth $67,000. But apparently, a journalist named Jimmy Dunkel has launched a campaign to raise $700,000 to buy this house. It's been live for about 18 days yet, and so far, actually, he's raised $135,000, which is very impressive because, I mean, you know, I really love the band. I was a huge fan, but purchasing his childhood home to make a museum, I don't know. I think it's a little excessive myself personally, but, you know, what are you going to do? If people want to put the money into it, it's to each their own.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I guess, does he have a memorial or something at a rock museum or something?
Well, they must have something in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I would think. But I know they have like Kurt Cobain Day now in Aberdeen, Washington, that just started this year, and so there's a lot of stuff coming around. But I think he does. I'm not 100% positive on that, so I can't say for sure. I would think there's a little something in there. So
Sure, I guess it's just like Graceland with Elvis that people kind of want to. I mean, obviously Graceland wasn't where he was born, but kind of a place where they knew he lived, so they could be there and feel a part of that. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Oh, well, you know, I agree with that, except the Graceland was a lot more interesting than this, like, it looked like not even a 2-level home, you know, just a small little hole in the wall sort of thing, like, so,
Right,
doesn't
yeah,
seem,
I think I saw it in a documentary once.
right, so just from the pictures, it doesn't seem there's, like, a lot to go with, but, you know what, whatever, it's, like I said, it's not my money, so I just wait and see what happens if they can't get that much money, so. Well, you know, with stuff like that, my question is if they don't raise the money they're going for, are they obligated to give the money back? I would think so, but I mean, I would think there'd be some sort of stipulation in the contract.
That's a very good question. I would think there would be, and I guess, is this being crowdfunded by something like Kickstarter, or is this just an independent thing?
It's called, what is it called? It's called GoFundMe, I think it's called.
Okay.
So it's not quite a Kickstarter, but I think it's something similar to it.
Gotcha.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't do too much research on it. I was just more or less shocked that some guy was trying to raise money to buy this house. So, but, you know, to each their own. So, a couple good concerts coming this summer. Nine Inch Nails will be doing a tour of Soundgarden, Which, Nine Inch Nails I'm always happy to see, but with Soundgarden, I have seen them a few times before, and with the last album in my eyes being a debacle and all the soul stuff, which I wasn't a big fan of, I don't really have any interest to see them anymore. So I'd just be paying a lot of money just to see Nine Inch Nails and not Soundgarden. Not saying I wouldn't stick around for it, but I've lost a lot of respect for them. I'll put it that way.
And why did you lose the respect?
Just because the King Animal album was just so bad, and the solo albums, there was only a few songs that were good on all of them, and then when you try to go kind of like electronic pop, stuff like that, just like why are you doing this? Like, you're killing yourself slowly here. So I mean, but that's just me. I mean, like I'm really invested in a band, and it means obviously they're gonna evolve, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, and I don't necessarily lose respect for their trying to evolve their band. It's just sometimes the direction they go in, and just like, now you're just kind of fighting to get back in the mainstream again. I can understand it'd be nice to have more money, but like, you don't want to end up being like a kind of independent band to almost like a copycat just to make a few extra bucks.
That's a very good point. I can totally see where you're coming from.
So like I said, just in general, I'm very critical of stuff I listen to. I mean, it's not always necessarily a good trait, but and just one of those things. The other one, I kind of chuckled when I saw this, even though I have seen Kiss before and they put on a good show. It's obviously not the original crew, but Kiss and Def Leppard are charting a summer tour. So if you're into 80s and want to relive the 80s, then this will probably be one of the shows of the summer to see. Then a couple other small little things. Beastie Boys sold a lawsuit over the Girls toy commercial because their song "Girls" was used in a toy commercial, which was done without their permission, and it was halted and yielded. And the company issued an apology, and it even said in MCA's will that no music that he's associated with, i.e., has written, composed, had taken part of, can be used for any commercial use. So that's more or less why they went after him so harshly, is saying, you're kind of disrespecting what was said in the will. You shouldn't have done that. And so that's settled and over with. And when I saw this, I kind of just you roll your eyes and you kind of almost kind of chuckle awkwardly, but you kind of, one of those titles you can't believe you're seeing. And it says this one was, Courtney Love thinks she may have found the missing Malaysia Flight 370, which went missing. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Why on earth would she even... hearts go out to those who lost family but on the flight, but like, really, like, why does she have to get involved in crap like this? I mean, I
don't know.
It says here that she used Tomod, which is like a satellite imagery map website, pretty much set to crowdsource info to the plane's location, and it says Love posted an image on her Facebook page of a body of water with words "oil" and "plane" crudely drawn in Microsoft Paint with respective arrows drawn on the image. I'm no expert, but up close, this does look like a plane and an oil slick, wrote Love. Prayers go out to the families of Malaysian Flight 370, and it's like a mile away from Pulau Pirik, and we have lost Britt again, but hopefully we'll get her back here in just a moment. So let's wait just one moment here to see what we can do about getting her back. So yeah, Courtney Love, like, really just knock it off already. Nobody cares what you have to say, and don't even attempt to jump on something like that. Something you know nothing about, that most of us know nothing about. Are you there, Britt?
I very much agree.
Awesome, you're back. I kept talking, I wasn't even sure you were back yet, so that worked out perfectly.
Yes, you made the right call on that one.
Awesome.
I don't know why she keeps commenting about it. I was kind of disturbed that no one has exactly shut down her speculation. Have you heard that it's been completely, disproven that she's wrong?
Pretty much, yeah. It says that in another article where she kind of follows up, but I'm not going to torture people with that anymore, just because it's just ridiculous. And like I said, I kind of just I chuckled, but I was like, I can't believe this. Like, why, you know? And this isn't doing something good, you know? Like, but like really is like Courtney Love. Oh, I guess she solved the case, you know? Like she in this case, she reminds me of Inspector Clouseau, except she's not funny. You know, it's like just before you know it, the case will be solved. You know.
Yeah, it's very true. And her headline, when she thought that she'd found it, got a lot more attention than when it turned out it wasn't true. So I, still a week later thought that they hadn't been able to prove she was wrong.
Yeah, I think that from what I've read, the most recent articles pretty much said they have proved her wrong. So, but just regardless, I mean,
exactly. That should have been just like a headline.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Don't everybody get excited, because it's not going to be one of those cases where all of a sudden Courtney Love, some idiot savant that's cracked a huge case. You know, this isn't the movies, this isn't TV, so I wouldn't bank on it.
She'd be like the character Brittany on Glee, who was not the sharpest tool in the shed, and then it turned out she was a genius, a mathematician.
You know, sadly, I actually know about that. Not that Glee's a bad show, just not one I line up to watch. We'll put it that way.
I hear you. It's all right.
it's. I'm not saying it's not quality. I'm just saying it's just not one of my favorites. That's all. We'll and leave it at that. So.
All right.
So yeah, that wraps up the quote unquote rock and roll and popular music news. There was a lot this week, so it was nice to have quite a bit to talk about. So next up, Britt, let's get into your most recent blogs and what you're working on.
Okay, well, this week I had a new thing I'm doing where having the best TV moments from the week. So I'll be putting one up for this week, and I did one for the previous week. So some interesting moments that happened, some OMG moments, I guess you could say, but Dallas, that's on TNT. That's a great show, and I've really been enjoying that. And Bates Motel, and kind of. Have you seen Bates Motel?
I've seen a few episodes. I haven't seen all of them. I have seen a few. Like the
Don't
first.
You love it?
Yeah, like I said, I saw about the first 2 or 3 episodes from the first season, and it's just one of those shows that I haven't been able to catch up completely on yet because there's so much other stuff going on. So. But
yeah,
yes,
I hear it. It's
but
like a mini movie every week.
Yeah, but it is a good show.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. I love the actress who plays Norma Bates, Vera Farmiga. She's one of my all-time favorites. When I heard she was coming to a TV show, I was so excited because she's normally been in movies, so she just does an amazing job on that show. And the guy who plays Norman Bates does a great job too, Freddie Highmore. Hard to believe he's actually British, and he speaks with the most amazing American accent. I can't believe it each week.
I didn't know that.
Fun fact.
Was like what's his name? I shouldn't be blanking this guy's name. House. This guy played House.
Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie. Thank you. Yeah, I was just like him because a lot of people didn't know that he was British till after the fact, right? They're like, you're kidding, really? Because like his North American accent, it just sounds right on. You'd never know.
I totally agree. I was very shocked. And what was also weird is I found out around the same time, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together, that he was Stuart Little's dad as well.
Really? I didn't know that either.
Yes, he was in the Stuart Little movies playing Stuart Little's dad, and then I don't know why, but I was incredibly shocked to learn that Hugh Laurie was also, that same man was House, so that was a little bit of a surprise.
Before I forget, I saw this, I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but apparently, I think it was last night, some actress stabbed her husband to death. Reese, what's her last name? Reese
Witherspoon?
No, with her knife.
I have no idea.
No, did you not hear that? Reese Witherspoon.
I missed it.
Reese Witherspoon. I said no with her knife.
Oh. That took me a minute.
Yeah.
No, I was a relief. I was so shot. He was so soon to committed murder.
Yeah. That's why when you tell a joke, you gotta hope the person knows their name Witherspoon. Say, no, with their knife.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Like, seriously, my heart rate escalated.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, oh my God, how did I not hear this? Because I just seen like an hour ago that she turned 38, and they were looking at all of her best movies, and I was, oh my God, how did it go from 38 to Killer?
Yeah. So I heard that the other day. So I was waiting till today to get you with that one.
Very nice.
So.
Nicely played, sir.
So you said you're doing your blogs on funny TV moments, right?
Yes, so we had some shocking moments, kind of did that, put up a new one this week, this past week stuff and everything, so turned out better than I expected. I just kind of did it for funsies.
Well, you know what,
and
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I didn't realize you're still going. No, it's my fault. Continue. I can put my thought in a second.
Okay, well, I was going to say that I just did some movie review. I did a bunch of movie reviews, which nonstop. Did you see that?
I saw most of them, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so Nonstop, Saving Mr. Banks, an independent movie called The First Time, and some other stuff. I'm really curious to hear your thought.
I read the one on Mr. Banks, and so that one I did get a chance to read. And I liked it because I haven't seen it yet, so it kind of gives me more of incentive to go see it.
Nice.
And no, I saw the other ones posted. I haven't read them yet. So.
Sure.
So I try to read your blogs as much as possible, so I'm prepared when we start talking about them, so I can give you my 2 cents. But I didn't get a chance to read all of them this week because I actually was working on a few reviews. I finally got done and took forever, and I apologize, but they're finally out. So I finally released my one for the new Puppet Rebellion EP, No Means Yes, and the new Wild Young Hearts full-length album, California Girls, or Dreams, sorry. It's Pretty Girls is the EP. The full-length album is California Dreams, so there we go. And
awesome.
I just did one on an interview that I did with the band the other day because their album came out, or EP came out last Sunday, and the band is called The Mouth of Ghosts, and the album is called, EP is called You Will Go Again From Me, and I got that done. So yeah, I've been working a lot this week too. But what I wanted to get to is, since I kind of almost forgot about it, but funny moments TV. I'll be honest, Family Guy I've been watching on and off because the episodes haven't been that funny, blah blah blah. But last week it was pretty decent, and it was a funny moment, and they used Facebook for this one. And the short and skinny is Peter posted something on Facebook, and he put so sad, really bad day at work, feeling horrible, blah blah. And then one of the guys comes up and on below it in comments and says like, OMG, he's like, if you need anything in capitals, no, let me know. And then Peter comes back, says, I need your car. And then the next friend comes up and says, oh no, you said you anything, you gotta give me your car. And then there's like a little second delay, and you see the post being deleted. And then the next post says, by the same guy, says, sending good vibes. So that was actually really well done, because it's that sort of thing, and it's almost like a cliche polite thing. People say, and not that they don't mean it, but no, when they mean anything, they don't necessarily mean anything, right?
Very true, and I seldom think that they're gonna be asked to do anything. It's just kind of a gesture of saying, just so you know you said it.
That's right. So yeah, I just that was the funny moment from last week that I thought was pretty good. So it was worthy of a mention, just because of using Facebook and and seeing these kind of posts, like exactly what's going on. So all right.
Yeah, that's true. There were a lot of awkward, not supposed to be funny moments that were funny moments that I noticed this past week.
And those are always the best ones too, when they're not meant to be, but they end up being funny anyways.
Very true.
So what other blogs have you been working on or have coming up?
Okay, well, and then I'm going to be doing, I'll get to that in a second, but I just wanted to say, because my sister actually texted me after she saw this post on the site. I done a double review I'm doing this week. We're having there are so many movies that I watch, but then I don't have the time to do a full like big review. So I did 2 reviews for one, so 2 for the price of 1, a double feature, ladies and gentlemen. But I did this movie. I did this movie Compliance and another movie Admission. And Compliance is about this girl who was it's based on a true story. She was working at a fast food joint, and this prank caller called up and said that she'd stolen petty cash from a short change or stolen money from a customer. And so the manager makes her do basically do a strip search to find out if she had stolen the money. It just, things get really ridiculous. It's absolutely true, and it's horrifying that something like this happened. And hopefully if someone sees this movie, they will realize that you can kind of get sucked into something that really gets out of control, and people who are, deviantly minded will take advantage of the situation. But then on the other thing the second review I'd done was for this movie called Admission, which is this Tina Fey, Paul Rudd comedy drama. And my sister texted me, she said, "Why did you put these 2 movies together? They are nothing alike." I said, "Well, they both have 1-word titles." And then she sent me 2 words back, "Never again." So I guess I will more closely try to keep things in a theme, or according to her, I should. And then this week I went to see Divergent yesterday in IMAX. It was a really good movie. I'll be posting a review later. Have you heard anything about this movie?
Divergent, not a whole lot. I know a few people are reading the books or just about to finish reading the books, so I know very, very little. I'm not going to plead to know too much about it. So. Okay, well,
I've not read the books either. My sister has. She was super excited. So we went opening day, and she was very, very excited. In fact, they had free promotionals. They gave away a movie poster and Divergent bracelets. I did not put mine on, but Chelsea did. She was very excited about it. It was so sweet because she has been looking forward to this movie for a long time. Anyway, and so we saw it, and I have to tell you, I was going in not really expecting much, and she was really excited. She'd read the books, but I had not read the books. I really enjoyed it, and I really did get into it, and it's a really cool the concept is basically more of the dystopian post-apocalyptic future, in which now in this future, the people are divided up into 5 character traits, if you will, and they all live together, and then the kids hit a certain age, kind of like with the Amish with Run Springer. They get to choose if they want to stay where they were raised or they want to be part of another character group. And so our lead heroine chooses to go into another group away from her family, and a bunch of drama ensues. But it turns out that she has equal measure, like 3 of the 5 characteristics, which is called being divergent. And so she kind of has special powers, but not like she doesn't have laser beams shoot out of her eyes, but she has character strength that other people don't have.
Right on.
So I really enjoyed it. I thought the performance, Shailene Woodley, are you familiar with her?
I can't say that I am.
Okay, well, she was in the movie that I loved from last year, The Spectacular Now. She was on the BBC Family Show, and she was in The Descendants with George Clooney. Have you seen that movie?
No. Sorry.
Oh, okay. It's all right. I was just trying to see if you maybe seen her and not, she wasn't a big name at the time, so you may have seen her and not realized it. Anyway. Anywho, she does a really good job. She's a rising star, and there are quite a few rising stars in this movie. So it was really fun to watch everyone kind of get together on this platform. Theo James will be a huge name after this movie. He's the male lead in it. And the theater, I went to an early showing, so there wasn't a lot of people there. And most of the people there were guys, so I didn't hear women, normally they'd be crying out and screaming, but I can't report about that other than to say that, I thought he did a really good job in acting the part.
Right on. Well, I'll have to see it eventually. Just there's so much to see right now, so in so little time. So I want to say I'll see them, but I can't promise anything. At least I might get to them eventually, but it may not be in the short term.
Yeah, it's nice to have a lot of things to see instead of where it's just been this. What is there to see? And there's nothing.
Well, and that's right, because sometimes there are the we'll call it the dead times where the movies aren't that good or they're all the same and that sort of thing. So I kind of want to see Spelling Bee actually with Jason Bateman.
my gosh, that looks so funny. I totally want to see that too.
So I saw the views for it a few times, and I kind of wanted to see it. So I'm be interested to see that one. And finally saw Meet the Millers last week.
Wasn't that so good?
That was really funny. I mean, that was awesome. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's just one of those things, like, I forget the lead actor's name, but, like, you know, the father, but he's such a funny guy.
Yeah, Jason Sudeikis.
That's it. Yeah, he's such a funny guy, so it's always cool. It's always fun to see him in those type of roles, because you know you're going to get a good performance out of him.
Very true.
So, yeah, it was all around a good movie. It was really funny, so finally got a chance and got otherwise than that, I don't think there's any other new movies I really want to see or kind of that stick out in my mind.
How about
Noah? Try to stay away from the biblical movies.
Okay.
Just because in some cases I get really frustrated or annoyed, so I'll pass rather than just sit there and get frustrated and annoyed and make comments during the movie. I rather go ahead.
Do you feel better knowing they're going to put a disclaimer?
Oh, I don't.
I think I totally understand what you're saying, but
I don't.
Is it working?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. Well, what I was going to say is they're going to put disclaimer at the beginning of the movie saying that it's inspired by, and basically they can't be held accountable to being 100% accurate. Does that make they did that because they thought that would help people not be as angry if they deviated from the original story from the Bible? Does that make you feel any better?
Gee, when you put it that way, Britt. No, the disclaimer's got nothing to do with it. Just in general, I just don't, not really a big fan of those movies. Just in general, I mean, I'm not gonna get into a diatribe on religion here, so I'm gonna skip over that. But yeah, I just like disclaimer means nothing. I mean, I don't know why they keep making them. I think it's almost, even though I don't know how much truth there is to it, because I'm not gonna start getting into that either. But you know, it's just one thing to kind of do something over and over and over and over again, just in different forms. I mean, it kind of gets old. That's all.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, if we got into religion, that would take it's too long, and it's not worth it. I don't want to step on any toes. I don't want to get in any heated arguments here, so it's just best to kind of leave well enough alone and put it that way.
I totally hear you.
Because that's just one thing that could spin one too many things, and I'm not. I don't want to deal with that and get the backlash from it, so it's not worth it. But yeah, pretty much what you said. Because it just seems kind of run itself old, and just like they keep on trying to somewhat reinvent it in different ways, and like, you know. But plain disclaimer on it. Just one more quick thing on disclaimers in general. It's like you know, when they finally started having to put disclaimers on CDs, you know, may contain explicit lyrics, blah 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 blah. But that's gonna stop anyone from buying it or want to listen to it or play it more. You know, it's almost like an encouragement sort of thing.
Yes, it's the badge.
Right. So but yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. So, but other than that, pretty much I think that's everything. Unless you got some more stuff to talk about, I'm more than willing to listen.
Okay, the only other thing that I have to say is, oh man, there was something I was going to say. Well, I thought it was really gross this week that Madonna posted a picture of her long armpit hair. That was a bit much for me, and I just don't understand why that was necessary.
Ew, and I didn't see that, thankfully. Oh, are you still there?
Did I lose you?
Yeah,
yes,
we're back. Okay. So
yeah, that was frustrating for me. And the part that she thought we would think that she was a natural blonde because she dyed her armpit hair blonde.
Yeah, that's kind of gross. So I'm glad I didn't see that.
I did, and they said she's such a trendsetter, and I thought, no.
Not with this. All right, well, that is going to wrap up Blogger's Corner for this week, and even though I know it says 19, I do have 6 more episodes that are already downloaded and saved in a hard drive that are not up on the website anymore. And we lost her again. So This has been Dr. Bones and Britt for Bloggers Corner. Until next time, we'll catch you next Saturday. Until then, Bones out, and Britt will talk to you soon because I don't think we're going to get you back in time. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.